Hey, it's me, Sleepy, and welcome back to another video, specifically to my long-awaited Meet the Artist slash Q&A video. I've been back and forth on this video for a while, not only because I just didn't have a Meet the Artist or a drawing I'd like to use for this type of video, but also because, for whatever reason, recording audio for this has been a lot. This is my fourth time actually recording audio and starting over from the beginning, but we're gonna get through this. We're gonna fourth time's the charm, I guess. Now, originally, when it comes to the piece I have for this video, I wanted to do something in the traditional Meet the Artist layout or setup, where you draw yourself or you draw your persona, your name, your info, your text, whatever. But I eventually decided I'd like to just stick to just drawing a illustration of my persona. So I eventually end up taking the sketch into another file and just working on it from there. I haven't done a Meet the Artist in quite a few years, or really just done something like this ever. So I apologize if this feels a bit uncomfortable. I'm going to try my best to make this just a chill vibe, a chill watch, something you can watch intently or just put on the background while you're working, while you're drawing, while you're playing a video game. I tried to think about things that you guys would want to know and also things that I'd like to share or things that would be a great introduction to who I am and what I do or plan to do in the future. Obviously, there's the basic info that you can see on screen right now, like how I am 21 years old, I am a Virgo. Obviously, I like art, I'm an artist, but there are other things specifically relating to my work that I'd like to talk about. And I think this is a great first start of questions to ask, and that's relating to my setup and what I use to draw or what I use to make my videos. Now, for me, I'm a low budget girly. We do not have much of a budget here on the Sleepy Uwu's channel. So I record my audio on my iPad. Everything is on my iPad. I record audio in CapCut. I edit my videos in CapCut. My music I get from sites or just like YouTube videos like DMCA or copyright free compilations of music, that type of thing. You can always see this all the info for what I used for the videos or for my videos um in my description. So you can check there. When it comes to art supply specifically, obviously, iPad. I draw on my iPad. I draw in Procreate. I made an entire video about Procreate, so you should go watch that. It's a good video, actually. But I've also used many, many programs over the years. I don't necessarily have one favorite program. When it comes to Procreate, I think it's perfect for mobile, for tablets, that type of thing. But when it comes to on a PC or a laptop, then Clip Studio would be my favorite. So those are my top two. Those are my babies. Those are the ones I stick by the most. But I've used many others over the years. And, maybe it'll be interesting to do a video where I go through as many art programs as possible in one video. From ones like Ibis or IBIS, however you like to pronounce it, to Procreate, to Clip Studio, to freaking Krita, GIMP, Photoshop even, whatever. Because I've used all of those programs at least a few times. Photoshop was the one I used for the shortest amount of time because I literally used it for one day. That was an experiment. And then I went straight back to, I think at the time, Metabang. I think that was my program at the time. So if you'd like me to do a video like that one day, let me know in the comments. When it comes to traditional art, I don't do it as much, but I love acrylic markers. I love acrylic markers. I I need to do a video just about acrylic markers, and that probably will be one of my next videos because I love acrylic markers, and I would like to do some traditional art in my videos, specifically in my sketchbook. I'd also like to do a sketchbook tour. That's in the back burner. I also will record that soon and get that started. So those are my go-tos when it comes to traditional um, art tools. I've also used alcohol markers, specifically Ohuhu markers. I do need a new set though. I really need to invest in a bigger set of Ohuhu markers. But those are my babies. Those are my things. I don't use a lot of different tools, I fear. I'm a very simple girl. Once I find what I really like, I kind of stick to it for a while until I find something that suits me more. This one is kind of random, but I was also asked about my favorite Taco Bell item. And I'm a very picky eater, honestly. So when I like find one thing I like or like a couple of things I like, I kind of get it every single time. So for me, my go-to is usually like a cravings box with like a 5-layer burrito or just a 5-layer burrito on its own. Baja Blast. I love me some Baja Blast. I feel like that's such a basic answer, but I have not even tried like 5% of the menus at most places. I don't think there's a single place where I've tried everything because I'm such a picky eater. I only like basic toppings on pizza. I don't even like a lot of things on burgers. I'm a very picky eater. I was also asked about my childhood inspiration, and this one, it really just depends on where or what time period you're talking. But the thing that actually got me started when it comes to taking art seriously and it becoming my main hobby and one of my main interests was Steven Universe. I think I mentioned this in another video, but in sixth grade, maybe in the fifth grade, I don't really remember the timing, Steven Universe came out. And I was instantly in love with the show. And I would go home and get out like notebook paper or just whatever scrap paper I could find, and I would just draw random gems designs. And they were bad. Obviously, I was like 10 or 11, and I really wish I still had those. I threw them away when I was like 14 or 13, and I really wish I had those. I can vaguely remember them. Um, One I mainly remember because his name was freaking stupid. I had like two main ones, and they had two pets, which were also gyms. They were cats, and it was so cringe because I like had this little couple, this ship, and then their cats also were together, and they were also gyms. It was so stupid. But I remember this dude. The dude's name was Cole. Cole is not a freaking gym. So I don't know like where I got that from. I think I just liked the name, or maybe it was because of like Lego Ninjago or something. I don't know if that was even out at the time. I don't remember, but yeah, that was part of what got my start. When it comes to art, and over the years, just cartoons in general have always just been a big inspiration. And at one point, books were also a big inspiration. Specifically, the Maximum Ride book series that had a chokehold on me for 4 years, 4 straight years. Like it was bad. I low-key still kind of have an interest in it, and I've like been listening to the books on and off, like the audiobooks of them. And I've wanted to do like a deep dive sort of video on Maximum Ride and also kind of a rewrite. In general, I'd like to do some kind of rewrite or redesign content like that, where it's not just focused on like the designs, but also just on the story and things I would change for fun. I've also wanted to do something like that with Miraculous Ladybug. That was one I also think would be really fun to do a rewrite and deep dive into, especially if I deep dive into some of the controversies, like with the creator. I think that would be something really interesting. But I'm not sure if anyone would want that type of stuff because this is primarily an art channel. That would be art too, but I'm not sure if people want to hear me yap about Maximum Ride. Tying into media, I was asked if you could have your own show slash comic slash etc., what would it be about? And I was also asked, do you have a favorite OC and may I see them? I'm gonna answer the first one with a kind of an announcement. I believe I've mentioned it before here, but I mainly talked about it on my Twitter. But my dream project, my passion project that I'm currently working on, and I'm really excited because, something big just happened, is a visual novel slash dating sim called Coven Crush. Coven Crush will be a dating sim about a coven of vampires, specifically 6 vampires. And I plan on talking more about this within the next couple of months, but we recently we, as in me and the one other person part of this team, maybe tentatively another. I'm kind of starting to make big leaps with that because it's kind of just been in the pre-production and planning stages. And this month, I found our lead programmer, and I've started working on the website and the final demo script because the goal or the long-term plan is to create a free-to-play demo or preview of the game, and then to run a Kickstarter. And that Kickstarter will hopefully fund the final game. And by that, I mean funding me being able to pay people what they deserve, not only for coding, but for art, music, whatever, voice acting, because I'd like to at least have some voice acting in it, even if it's just like expressions, like what's done in Dream Daddy or Monster Prom, those games, something. And I could technically post and ask for volunteers, but I don't really want to do that. I'm very like tentative about that. I've kind of been wanting people to reach out to me first, or to like just talk about it with friends and mutuals, because I don't like the idea of not compensating people for their work. And I feel like the best way to go about this would be Kickstarter, because I don't want this to just be something that fizzles out. I want this to be something that builds up and hopefully becomes the start of something big, something new, not only for me, but for anyone else helping and working on this as part of the Cut and Crush team. And I like to just do more, and I don't want to rush into this, and I don't want to be one of those people that reaches out or posts online for free work. I don't like that. I've never even liked the idea of when people do those competitions where they're like, hey, all of you guys draw me this free art, and then one of you might be lucky enough to get something. That kind of thing. I don't like that type of stuff. It's weird for me. It's different when it's like a draw this in your style, but when it's like a celebrity or a YouTuber or influencer doing something like that and just essentially taking advantage of their following for the sake of free art, it's iffy, because you have the ability to pay people for their work. You have the ability to find an artist and commission it. You have the ability to commission a billion artists. So I don't really like that stuff. So I didn't want to do that with this, and I didn't want to be one of those people, because if you've been online for a while, or if you've been involved in like indie projects, whether that be indie animation or indie games, in communities about these type of things, there tends to be a lot of these scammy sort of projects and exploitation, and it's just messy. So I don't want anyone, if you were someone who like has experience in this type of thing, I don't want this to be a sign for you to DM me being like, oh, I'll volunteer for free. Don't do work for free. But I'm rambling. But yes, Tub and Crush. Tub and Crush. I plan on doing some videos about the individual love interests and also just about the project. But I'm saving things. For now, though, I'll probably, link in my description to a thread from earlier in the development and planning, so you can get a little bit of a glimpse, even though none of the character designs in there are final. Those are early concepts. But yeah, that's what I'm cooking right now. Eventually, I'd like to open a Patreon and have that be a place where I can put some development stuff, But we're taking things slowly. We're trying to be careful about how we do things. And on to favorite OCs. I went a little bit of a random just ramble there. But while the characters in Clever Crush are OCs, my favorite OCs are actually two characters that I plan on redesigning. Well, I'm in the midst of redesigning, so I'm going to show you their most recent finished design, which is from last year, I think. Early last year, I think. So, my favorite OCs are August and Auden. They're two princes based on moths. August is based on the Rosy Maple moth, and Auden is based on a blue tiger moth. These were originally created for a collaboration in a Discord, that was moth themed, and I was like, oh, what if I design some characters and do these like princes? And it kind of just evolved from there because I got attached. Maybe I should do like a series when it comes to OCs, like all about blah 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 blah. I feel like that would be a better way to talk about my OCs in depth because there's so much to these characters that I don't think now is the time to ramble about them. I think in general, um, those are like the things relating to like my art or whatever, or my work or whatever, and not necessarily me. So now let's get into more things about me. Now, I feel like if you know me on like my social medias, then you know that K-pop is my biggest interest slash thing I indulge in, and it's extremely obvious. It's in my bio on Twitter. I talk about K-pop stuff all the time. Not as much as I used to, but that's just because I kind of stopped talking as much about my life because I'm kind of trying not to be online so much and share so much online. I'm yeah, but I love K-pop. My top groups, not in any particular order, are Stray Kids, X New Heroes, ATs, and Only One Of and P1 Harmony. Those are like my top five, I guess you could say. I also love NCT, but lately I haven't been keeping up with them as much. And also, I love concerts. I've only been to a few so far, but I already have one lined up for this year, and hopefully I'll have more. I just really enjoy concerts. I enjoy that concert high. I enjoy the excitement, even if it can be an exhausting day, especially if you need to start early. And I kind of played around with the idea of posting concert vlogs, and maybe I will, but I'm not really sure if I should. I kind of mentioned it once in like a YouTube post or whatever, but I'm just not sure. But I love concert stuff. I My concert videos, I love just sitting down and watching my own concert videos. So far, I've seen Stray Kids, ATs, and Only One Of. I have not seen P1 Harmony or X New Heroes yet, but hopefully I will. Hopefully one day, we have plenty of time. There, there are plenty of tours in the world, and hopefully X New Heroes will have a tour this year, even though I'm not ready for that. But it's okay. We just gotta like lock in this year, 2025. We all gotta lock in. If there's something you want to do and you're holding yourself back and saying like, oh, well, I don't think I'm not good enough, or I don't think I have these expensive supplies or tools or setup, just do it. You gotta lock in this year, okay? Because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to lock in and focus. Even though I'm not gonna lie, I'm not happy with how I've started this year, but we're only in the first month. I have time to turn things around. Now, I wouldn't necessarily call myself a collector because it's not like that I collect something like specific, but I do have a collection of things if you want to put it that way, like merch, posters, albums, light sticks, figures, plushies, etc. I I love just feeling my room, my space with things I enjoy. I love coming into my room or waking up and being surrounded by things I enjoy. And I think some people might think that's a little immature to have like posters up when you're in your 20s, whatever. And I think that's loser mentality. I think that's weak minded. I think that's pathetic. I think that's stupid because it's just a poster. Like it's not that deep. You could have a poster of My Little Pony up if you wanted to. It's your room, your office, your studio, whatever. Um, and for me, I just don't have any of that type of shame or embarrassment. My space is my space. So it maybe one day I'll do like a room tour. But if you look at my room, every wall is covered in things, except for the one where my closet is, because it's just closets on the wall, really. But I have posters, my lights, except my Polaroids from when I met Only One Of. my signed album from them, just all of these things, and it just makes me so happy. So that's another thing that's like a big part of me and a big part of who I am. Oh, also, if you know K-pop, if you know anything about K-pop albums, then you know about photocards. And before you ask, yes, I do have a photocard binder. I actually need a new one. My current binder is full. I don't go out of my way to collect specific photocards. Like I don't trade or sell photocards or buy photocards. I just get ones based on just random chance. So I'm not really a photocard collector, but I have a collection of photocards, if that makes sense. Like I have some from albums, I have some from pre-order benefits, like merch, I have some from like other things, like mystery box things, like packages, like that's how I have some like not exclusive, but less common, I guess you could say, photocards, like from fan meetings and stuff. I have a signed photocard. You know, it's not as like big a thing as like the general merch that's displayed on my shelves. But I do love my little photo cards. I like picking out what photo card I'm gonna take with me to a concert. It's really fun for me. Even though it's a silly little thing, it's literally just a photo of a person. I'm like looking at the time, like how long this video has been going on so far, and we are past the 20-minute mark, yet it feels like I haven't said that much, but I think I should, wrap it up. So we're just gonna do like a quick little rundown, a list of things I like. Specific things, I guess you could say, like games and stuff. I like Slime Rancher. I like Sims 4. I like Stardew Valley. I like Mario Kart. I like um I this is kind of a little bit embarrassing. I like those like shovelware, those like ad games you get, like good sorting. I like those. I have a few of those on my iPad that I love those. I like Minecraft. I do not like, I don't like that. I don't like, I don't dislike many things, I guess. So this one's harder. But I don't like when things are turned into something bigger than what they are. Where it's just, it's not that deep. I don't like Twitter discourse or Twitter drama or just online petty drama in general. Like if it's a serious thing, I get it. Or if someone's like really like being a terrible person or just a very frustrating individual. I get that, but I don't like when it's like over dumb stuff like K-pop, like K-pop stan Twitter. It's so get a life, touch grass. I hope one day you have real problems, that kind of thing. I suck at finishing shows. That's a fun fact about me. I suck at finishing shows. I've shown these shows, but I like them. It's not that I don't like them. It's not that I'm not interested in them, but I don't finish the season or I'll never finish the show. And I think maybe subconsciously because I don't want it to end. So then if I don't finish it, then it's like I can still like drag out the enjoyment I have for it. Things like that. I'm very impatient, so when I do finish a show, it's usually from like binging it over like the course of like a couple days. So it's either I take like forever to finish something or never finish it at all, or I finish it on one day. I like Buddy Daddy's anime. That anime anime had me genuinely tweaking. I'm talking so fast, so I'm like stumbling over my words. That anime, when I watched it, I was tweaking. If you search Buddy Daddies on my Twitter, there's so much just me, just Buddy Daddies, with like me just going insane, like gifs. I love that show. It was great. I also I like rewatching shows. Like the shows that I do finish, I love rewatching shows a billion times. If I finish a show, one of the first things I will do is go on YouTube and look at like reaction videos to that show or to that movie. Speaking of movies, I love animated movies, even the ones that are cringe, like Sing or Sing 2. I love animated movies, even if it's stupid stuff. I love Turning Red, Four Town. That was also a big break for me at one point because art I did at Fort Town really blew up on all my socials. And at one point, it led to like one of the voice actors, singers in Fort Town, like commenting on my post. And it was like, what the heck? And then the Disney Vivo account, not Disney Vivo, Disney Music, one of the Disney commented and was like, oh my God, this is like Awesome. And now that piece has been stolen to hell and back, and it's in so many things. It's probably still floating around on Etsy and Redbubble and just scammers stuff. So that's not fun. But I have a special place for Turning Red because of that art and because of how that felt for me. I love music, obviously not just K-pop. I just like music in general. I love finding new music. I listen to everything. I'm one of those people that genuinely listens to everything, whether that be K-pop or pop in general, country, freaking Dan and Shay, hello, metal, rock, whatever. Basically, I'll listen to whatever just makes my little brain happy. I'll listen to almost anything. Um, I'll at one point I was on TikTok Live and I was letting people recommend me literally any song or any music, and we were listening to freaking like pirate music, like sea shanties. I think I'm very open minded when it comes to things like that. I love watching YouTube. I love watching gameplay videos. Part of the reason I remember starting to watch YouTube as a little child was because of gaming YouTubers. Jacksepticeye, namely being like the number one. That's the YouTuber. I wish, maybe I do actually. I might still have that account somewhere. But like that, Jacksepticeye is probably the YouTuber I've watched the longest, and I've been watching him since I was in like sixth grade. Um, I'm 21 now. I'm gonna be 22 this year, at the end of this year in August. Um, so I love gaming videos. I love long form content. I love video essays and deep dives and um, retrospective content. Like Quentin reviews. I ate those videos. I I devoured them. It was great. It was great. I love long form videos like that, which is why I'd like to, eventually try to do something like that myself. But I'm not sure if people will want that, and I'm speeding up, but I'm gonna wrap it up. Okay, this is enough. This is enough. This is a fine introduction to me. Um, we'll do Q&As like periodically as the channel grows and as I have more things to talk about, and we build this community here. Speaking of community, I know some people have been interested in that Discord. I will get around to that. I'm just not sure if we are at that point yet where I should make one. But I have one like in the drafts essentially, and I'm just waiting for the right time to finish it and make it public. Yes. Um, thank you so much. If you made it this far into almost a 30-minute video about, or maybe it is 30 minutes, I haven't looked, about me rambling, about my work, about my art. If you made it this far, please leave a like, please subscribe. You can go check me out on other social medias. I am Sleepy Woos everywhere, including freaking Red Note or Xiao Hong Shu. I'm Sleepy Woos everywhere, literally everywhere, basically, kind of. Twitter's my main, but yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely day.